I will just introduce you to the audience. I will introduce you to the audience. Yes.
You introduce.
I will introduce you to the audience.
You come this way, I can hear it. Yeah.
I will introduce you to the audience.
Yes, so
Swami
do it.
wants.
Do it, then I will start.
So, dear friends and devotees, my humble salutations and namaskarams to you all. Today we have revered Swami Aparananda ji. Today we have revered Swami Aparananda ji, who is a guest speaker, also on behalf of Portland, Vedanta Center of Portland. My humble salutations to revered Maharaj, and I welcome him on your behalf. So he will be addressing today. I don't know what he is going to speak on, but I'm sure it will be like an embracing experience with the divinity. So let us hear him. And so Swami is actually leaving us after this lecture. So welcome Swamiji.
सहनायवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति हरि ओम तत्सत्। May the divine self protect the preceptor and the student of truth. May the Lord nourish our souls with the nectar of eternal truth. May the Supreme Being grant us spiritual strength. May our studies be fruitful in realizing the eternal truth. May love and harmony dwell amongst us. May peace reside there in all and flow over the whole universe. And may there always exist in all peace and real peace alone. Om, peace, peace, peace to us and to all living beings. Madhu Bhataritayote Madhuskaranti Sindhava Mattinna Mattasyadehi Madhu Matta Joshi Madhu Bhasti Vasatta Madhuskaranti Navita Madhu Madhvanaspati Madhu Varsasijya Mattingabo Bhavuntuna. May the winds blow sweetness. May the waters carry sweetness. May the herbs bring us sweetness. Sweet be our nights and dawning day. Sweet be the heaven and the dust of the earth. Sweet be the trees of the forest and the sun in the sky. May sweetness come to us from every quarter. May our bodies be filled with strength, peace and joy. May our eyes, our ears, our senses, our energy, our life be sweet with divine harmony. All, whatever we perceive, is verily divine. May we never cease to see God. May God never forsake us. May we be absorbed here and more in divine being. And may the glories of self-realization be manifest in and through our life and mind. Om, peace, peace, peace to all living beings. Om Bhurvasha Tasya Vaturvarinnam Bhagya Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo No Prachodayat. Om. May the Supreme Being, who is the indweller of the three worlds, the earth, heaven, and the nether world, and the inspirer of the universe, inspire and guide me to spiritual unfoldment and perfection. Om. So thank you to all. And many of you must have seen me on many occasions. When Swami Aparananda was here, I first visited this place. And later on, every year, once or twice, I used to visit. After that, Swami Santa Sarva's time also, I used to come regularly. And then later on, also, of course, we are all, the elderly person. I'm 89, heading for 90 years old. So I remember one time I was flying from Oakland to here. The one person at the counter, not counter, it is a security gate. I said that I'm a senior citizen. How old? I'm 86. He thanked me. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. In India, the elderly people are recognized, especially in religious life, religious context. But in the West, it is all different. Here it is what is called great show of young energy, strength, and all these things. Old people, what they do, it is true. somebody must help him and all these things. So the many devotees or many, they feel that, oh, we are seeing an elderly person that way. Swami Vivekananda used to encourage the young people, always. Though nowadays, because of social problem, many young people are not getting the right type of direction in life. They go to the school and college and university, and then youth problem means what is called the expression of life in various ways. So they find it. So they say, they say that is the best way of what is spending time. It is a fact. But then, later on, much later on, when they face the realities of life, then they do not know what to do. I was told by one elderly American devotee at Hollywood many years ago that in this country, up to 20 or 29 years, young people go here and there and do. Later on, suddenly they discover in life, many of them, that they have nothing left to them to follow. No charm. All the charm of life gone and all these things. So that is the time, up to age 35, they have a terrible time. Fortunately, if they come across some religious organization, some good person who could guide them, they are saved and all these things. I've been living in this country since, I will say, 79 January, you can put it. Till 2014, I was little active, only 4 years I was ill, and then I had to retire and all these things. Our life is different. Because really speaking, we may say good words about the social problem and all these things. Actually, it's not correct because we don't go to see the families, what type of family, how they live and all these things. So our relation is we are in this center and good people really, they are the, what is called the best people of the society come to us and help us also. When Vivekananda came to this country, and as you know, that Vivekananda was not an ordinary person. I have to tell so many things about the what is called misunderstandings people had about Vivekananda. Even today also, we find it. And there is very, what is called that, sort of feeling that how the people being born in India also don't understand Vivekananda, all these things. They think Vivekananda just like either a social reformer or a great leader of the country or a religious leader. That is not Vivekananda. Vivekananda was a prophet. In those days, people of the Chicago understood. So they put several portraits on the roadside, and when people would go, they would bow down their head before the portrait and all these things. Now, I have seen in India also some educated people and all these critics of Vivekananda. They said, oh, what you say and see Vivekananda is not correct. What can be done? So we do not find any fault with them, seeing what a group of people did against Vivekananda in this country towards the end. Vivekananda himself told, mentioned casually, but being a prophet, he knew the goal of humanity. He knew it. So he mentioned that I cannot see any fault with them. What they say about me. Because unless the inner light comes out, unless the divine soul become awakened, people cannot understand the true goal of life. So what they say, what they think, what they act and all these things, it is based upon another level of life, which they do it. When Vivekananda was in India, it was the British rule. So British government tendency was in India not to allow a person to come up. So by hook and hook, the ruling group or ruling administration would try to bring him down and all these things. So the officers would come and then they would write what is called the report about Ramakrishna Mission, about the movement of Swami Vivekananda and all these things. And later on, when India attained freedom, then they would read the file. I heard from officers also, a historian also, like Ramesh Majumdar. He was allowed by Jawaharlal Nehru to see all the file, including Shuar Bose's affairs also. He knew all these things. So necessarily that our feeling is still different. Sri Ramakrishna was born, and young Vivekananda, young Naren, was a seeker of truth. He was a seeker of truth. So he was seeking the true light of truth here and there. And himself being what is called that incarnation of Shiva, all this, they say, great meditator. It was natural phenomena with him. In the yoga system, it is mentioned that crossword, when a yogi will sit crossword and keep this in this way, what happens? It is a pure yoga state. Yoga state. Because today we know our life force. I'm, what is called, taking breathe in and all these things. My pulse pressures are there, heart beating is there. So I'm alive. I can talk and all this. This much. But the yogi will tell that yes, but there is a way to stop the life force working in this way. It is outgoing life. It is a pure outgoing life. In the Kathopanishad, the question was raised thousands of years ago. Why we are not able to be aware of our divine nature? If I go today to any good bookstore, I can find lots of writings of people about spirituality, about the divine soul and all this thing, nice way and all this thing. Okay, but then unless they practice it, what I'm telling you, that this is this is posture. It is a higher state of achievement of yoga process. What happened? Our thought, our senses are now working. I see you, I can talk to you, you tell me, I see the object and all these things. In this way, my sense organs are working and all this way. Behind it, there is a light of divine soul. It is, of course, philosophical affairs. Strictly is that a yogi, through the process of meditation and the posture and all this thing, the life force, the prana, the life energy would become concentrated in this particular posture. So, immediately, his senses, inner, you can say, this awareness, the inner awareness will be indrawn. Naturally, Vivekananda had that situation or condition of his life. It was told by his brother disciple Swami Saradananda that they would not discuss toward the end of Vivekananda's life much about spirituality and all these things. Because like Sri Ramakrishna, his mind would get immediately absorbed in the higher divine consciousness. And in that state, what happened? This beautiful, charming world disappears, does not exist at all. We hear it, but we don't believe because we love this, everything. The charm and everything. We love all these things. But then, that he was, it is called in the Shiva Samhita, where the spiritual conditions of the Lord Shiva are described. So there are all the descriptions are there. But it is actually experience. Actual experience it is called. So that was Vivekananda. He is a prophet. Now, a big officer writing Ramakrishna Mission started by Vivekananda, all this foundation, what sort of work they are doing it, what is the relation to the ruling group, the ruling administration to the country or society, are they involved in political affairs? That is there. That is not Vivekananda. Vivekananda was a divine state, a divine soul. What they understand? A officer, they may have the power. They may have the power. They can write many things about Vivekananda and all these things in the report. But it is not the truth. From the social standpoint or something, it has values. But to Vivekananda, there is no values. Because he is a divine person. In his first talk to the what is called Chicago audience, he said that about 5,000 to 6,000 most what is called educated people of the state were assembled there. And so I had a problem in the beginning to talk to them. But then Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, began to work within me. So that paper on Hinduism is very important. Why he said, so when I think as a Hindu, I, what sort of experience I get? I am a physical body? No. I know I am an eternal soul. I am everywhere. He presented this to this audience in such a way, many of them really understood, felt it, and they appreciated this man. We know it is he was a prophet and all these things. His personality was very high. Very high it is called. So his guru teachers say that no one would understand you. But those people who write about Vivekananda would accept it, we accept it. We accept it. So his guru Sri Ramakrishna told him, you be in what is called calm and quiet state. Maintain it. Maintain it. Maintain it. Don't worry. No, don't expect others to know you, understand you. In later on in his letters to his brother disciple, he also mentioned casually. It's called. So when I say that I understand Vivekananda, because it is very easy nowadays. I know everything. Everybody is what is called all knowers. Hundreds of people today they stand up and give talk, religious talk and all these things. Those are knower of Brahman. It is not so easy. It is the most hardest task. Most hardest task. Doesn't mean that I will not be what is called the spiritual person. I will not follow the truth. Yes, because it is the hardest task. That is why it is a challenge to me. The more I accept the challenge, the more I will be beneficial. If I don't accept the challenge, there is no life. That is why all this is like Swami Brahmananda. Swami Brahmananda Maharaj used to say, what is like the struggle? The struggle means not fighting. Inner struggle is called. So now, today if we say, what is religion? How to define religion? Religion is a technical term. Dharma is a technical term. It is true to all people. Nowadays there is a tendency, this Vedanta is not our religion. We are we stay in another civilization and all these things. It is not our religion, all these things. Our point is that we do deny the modern psychology or psychic phenomena. Vedanta would teach us that transcendental psychology. That's all. It is truth. Today, the discovery of the psychologists about the what is called this psychic phenomena, many of the thoughts, ideas, and all these things. It is accepted. You can find in the spiritual literature. You open the Bible. If you open the Bible, you will find the teaching. You will find it. You open the Quran, you will find it. It's all human life, human what is called mental life, mental tendency of this life. So how can we deny the truth? So they may say, as I tell you, it is not their fault. Vivekananda said, unless the inner light is awakened, people have to, it's floating in the air, swimmer, they enjoy their swimming and all these things. So it is like this called. So to us, religion, spiritual life is a challenge. It is a challenge. Challenge means not that in a bad sense. Challenge means that discovery of truths. Now, if you study the modern science, its development and all these things, it's the same thing. A few souls accepted the challenge. So day and night they gave their whole life to find out the truths and all these things. Exactly the same way, religion and spiritual life is like that, it is called. It is a challenge and all these things. The Lord knows it is a hard task. Lord is already related to the created beings, whether you know it or not. Bhagavad Gita. Even today I find Bhagavad Gita is one of the religious literature. impersonal. It touches every aspect of life, all our social problems, everything it would touch and all these things. And it would tell us the yoga. Yoga means truth related to our developing our internal life, you can say. Internal life is called. So what is this? We learn from Upanishad, from Vedanta, from the teaching of Sri Ramakrishna in this age, is that every living being is endowed with certain divine powers. Every living being. Vivekananda said, a divinity of the soul. To manifest, in most of the cases, it remains as unmanifested way. That internal life it is called. So that the religion or spirituality or yoga is how to bring out those inherent truths that are lying now dormant. I was telling about the Kathopanishad, the questions also raised, the why we are not aware of our divine nature and all these things. The question is, so it is said, Kathopanishad answered, because Swambhu, the self-evident truth, he is all in all, that Lord. The reality is all in all. He is the cosmic intelligence. He is the cosmic force. He is the universal consciousness. Everything. None can transcend it, it is called. That is called Swambhu. Swambhu. So he created our sense organs, the organs of perception, the organ of thinking, the organ of understanding, sense organ, mind, then the intelligent and all these things, in such a way that it is called outgoing tendency. Today, suppose when you sit, you want to meditate, actually what happened? That I close my eyes so that my relation to the outside world, so that my sense power should not go out. Because I don't have that much controlling power yet, restraining power over my senses. I don't have. So I close my eyes. It's called. Then try to think of divine truth, for example. Divine truth. Either the mind is not yet ready to think of higher thought, or I am the practitioner. I am in the way and all these things. Then naturally, I face so many problems. While explaining the Raja Yoga, Vivekananda, in his introduction of Raja Yoga, mentioned about it, that when you sit for meditation alone, not with the other companion, the way, alone, you will find what type of mental agitation, varieties of thoughts coming, the thoughts which I never thought in my life. So unless we are in touch with our teacher, qualified teacher, then we are in trouble. After some time we give it up. It was told by Swami Brahmananda himself. Because he experienced it in his life. He, as a young boy, he was interested in religion. So he discovered his teacher, Sri Ramakrishna, and he would meditate. And after some time, he find the mind is very, very in agitated state. So he thought, better I should give up, go my home, and I shall do other work. So I can engage myself better, doing these things and that thing and this thing. So my mind will not be restless and also disturbing one. So because of that, a true teacher, spiritual teacher, must find out different ways suitable to the particular mental tendency of different people, not one way. That is why we say that spiritual life or religious life is in the beginning personal. Unless and until, we gain that, what is called that power, mental power, to restrain all our tendency, all our thoughts and all these things, and it's called concentrated. One way, direction, in one direction, the mind at will can direct it. That state is the higher state. When I will have my so much restraining power over my mind. Today, when we hear such things, we raise some other things, because we see so many beautiful things in the world. So many things. And how to, handle them, and then bring my mind and the intelligence and all these things to think of the divine reality, and what the divine reality has to do with this external life. Nothing. So we need a teacher. A teacher like Vivekananda. Read his yogos carefully. Swami Oshokarnaji, when he first started this Vedanta Society in Northern California, first of all, he would encourage everyone to study and meditate upon the teachings of Vivekananda. He would ask all of his students of Vedanta to study Vivekananda's yoga and his talks and Vivekananda literature, you can say, every day and all these things. He'll say, why? Because it is related to truth. As I told you, that I am sitting here, you are sitting there and all these things, at this very condition of my life, of every life, for example, how to think that there is oneness of existence. That my soul exists everywhere. I am in every living being. When the other living being feels misery and all these things, I feel it. It is mine one, and all these things. How to accept this thing? Very difficult. Very difficult. So, also I found out Vivekananda's exposition of divine truths in this age in a very different way are accepted by the modern mind. For example, anyone can read, whether he or she may be a follower of what is called Christian religion or Islam, it does not matter. The introduction to Radha Yoga is a wonderful, what is called creation, unique creation of Swami Vivekananda. Read it every day. It has come to us from one prophet. From one prophet. Introduction is very, very important. Many of our senior teachers used to tell us, they read that Vivekananda Raj Yoga, especially the introduction. Many of your mental doubts will be removed. When Swami Aparananda first arrived at New York, he met many students of Vedanta who listened to Vivekananda's lectures on Vedanta. He found hundreds of them were carrying a booklet, Raja Yuga. That because that introduction would remove. When they read it with concentration of the mind, actually that the mind would become one-pointed. And many of the doubts would be removed. The doubts are a horrible thing. Horrible thing, horrible. That is why we call it as a challenge. We are challenging it, this what is called this, our religious life, spiritual life, all this, or with the entire life, we can say. If you accept your totality of your life, and if you accept there is a challenge, you will never feel what is called alone, loneliness. Loneliness. Thousands of years ago, when the great Buddha would work, and because he was the divine person, all this thing, and then attractive power was there, so hundreds of people would be attracted and all these things. Now, it is not so easy to guide all these people. From different, what is called, societies, they have come, men, women, all, aged and all these things, all came and said. So, he introduced certain universal meditation. And it's very effective. One is, you sit and think of the miseries and sufferings of all the people of the world. I think no one can object to such instruction. Otherwise, if I say, no, you meditate on Mother Durga, then that is the only way. You may say, no, I don't believe in Mother. What is this? Mother Durga, Mother Kali. Oh, horrible appearance and all these things. But you can say, if you can sit there and meditate, meditate on the sufferings and miseries of life. Very nice. You can do it. Or feel compassion for all the people of the world. These are very higher type of meditation, must remember. If you become successful, then you will feel the existence of the oneness of reality, sympathy for other people. Actually, Vivekananda's view of Vedantic life is that the true nature of every living being, whether it is manifested or unmanifested, it does not matter. It is linked to the universal divine consciousness. Whether the person knows it or not, believe it or not. Because of that, you can find so much activities, uneasiness in life, because they are not yet able to find out their true nature, it is called. It is not true nature, it is called. So it's called that our life, other people's life, whether they know it or not, all these things, linked to the. So in this age, Divine Mother Sarada Devi would feel all the time the miseries and sufferings of all the people. And she was the Divine Mother herself incarnated this time. Sri Ramakrishna was very intelligent this time, because he found that he alone cannot do all work. So he compelled Divine Mother to incarnate in the form of Holy Mother Sarada Devi. Sarada Devi. So if you believe in your life, the motherhood of God, what does it mean? That nobody in this world is there to help me, to look after me, or on whom I can depend. So in this age, you can find one person, Holy Mother Sarada Devi. Sarada Devi. She is the really mother, means it is called the universal mother, universal feeling, like that, wonders of existence, all these things. Full of divine love. Full of divine love, it is called. So people of different, what is called, status of life, beginning from the knower of Brahman like Swami Vivekananda, and the ordinary person, all these kids, a farmer, a street maker, and all these things, would approach her. Mother never said no. She had that feeling, that work and all these things. So, as long as a Divine Mother was there during Sri Ramakrishna's time, so Mother hid her to nature, to the world. Those who were working, those who were close knew about the Holy Mother's nature, her activities and all these things, for example. And she had a great sympathy for all the women folk of the world. It's another subject, but it is very, very important. It is called Swami Shivananda was the dear disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, was the president of our order, also told much about the Holy Mother greatness. Vivekananda agreed that to accomplish all my difficult tasks in a modern age, Mother help I got all the time. All the time. Her blessing. It is her own blessing. So, in spiritual life, you know, a guide is necessary. Though people are becoming egoistic nowadays. I can do. We also, when we become interested in religious life, we also think this way. I shall go to the forest and sit there and meditate on the Lord. Don't care for my death and what happened to me. Later on I learned several of our members, they did it. One was telling that he was in Bihar at that time, young man. So he developed the spirit. So he went to a forest, in the forest, and stayed there. Staying there. Then developed some disease also later on. Anyhow. So what is that other, that at night he could see some strange thing. A fire was moving towards him. So he got a little scared. So after that, I think he returned and then joined some ashram and all these things called later on. So like that, everybody has that feeling, very strong feeling for spiritual life and all these things. To find out the mystery of life. The mystery of life is called in this case. So when we say a person does not believe in God and all these things, Vivekananda said it is not correct. Everybody has his or her own language. We do not know how to present the proper ideas and thought so that the other person can understand. He said, I don't believe. Anybody could say, I don't believe in spiritual life or spiritual nature. He said, the problem is we are not able to present in a proper way the ideas and the thoughts or the proper language which the other person could appreciate or understand. So it's called that. So only a prophet can say it. And the Indians say Divine Mother, Holy Mother and all these things. I wanted to read to you today, before I close it, a few teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 9 and chapter 10. I generally follow Swami Nikhilananda Swamiji's translation. In a little scholarly way, he did it. So, chapter 9, verse 11, where the Lord is telling that I incarnate myself, I come to this world, I take a human body to teach people so that they can know their divine nature. It is still. But because he was a divine spirit or divine being, ordinary people cannot understand. So neglect. We learn it from Sri Ramakrishna's life. How so many people would abuse him. And even also one person, because he was in the ecstatic state, would not answer his question. So he got angry and pushed him with his leg. And so many things happened. But he never told it to anybody. But later on he told it. So disregard. Ordinary people disregard me. That I am a divine being. Within me, there is no world, no worldly thoughts. It is all divine spirit working within me. So if they approach me, they would get the benefit. When I assume a human form, for they are aware of my higher nature, mean the divinity of the soul. They are not, it's called. As the Supreme Lord of all being. And on this subject, many spiritual people, many writers have written lots of, what is called, writings and papers. Very nice way it is called. It's called about the incarnation and all this, incarnation. So, the notice, from time to time the Lord assumes a human form. That man may attain a godly nature. Here comes a very important. I am seeing you, you see me. I go to the street and all these things. In India, whether people want it or not, I can speak religion to the unknown people. In this country, no. They will call the police. In India, we can compel people. You have to listen to religious idea, religious thought, but not in this country. What does it mean? It means that every living being has a higher nature, a divine nature. So, through the process of evolution, we are going through these stages, whether we know it or not. Stage is called. So I may say, I am in a brute state. I can't hear anything, I don't believe it. All this, I do all sorts of wrong things in life and all these things. But then, through the process of evolution, spiritual evolution you can say, or a higher form of evolution is called, I become aware of my humanity, my human nature. And that it is not all. So, godly, divine nature. And a time came when I become, because that is my true nature. So, Vivekananda says, if you are not cultivate that culture in your life, your own nature, your own what is called the jivatma, the inherent soul, will push you, will drive you here and there, and all these things. And this is very, I will say, the best interpretation or expressions of the movements of human life. Because people want to do things in a different way. They want to enjoy their freedom and all these things. And all the different way and all these things. What is the expression for all these things? Because they are all divine soul. So the divine soul that are inherent within every living being is pushing, is working unconsciously that way. So Master, the writer of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Aparananda Gupta, he was a highly educated person of Calcutta University, brilliant student. He knew many things, but his mind was at restless. So he discovered Sri Ramakrishna, and he would ask questions and all these things. Naturally, in those days, it is called rationality. If God is good, if the God has created this universe, this all living beings and all this, why there has been so much suffering, so much injustice and all these things? What is the reason? There is the tendency of raising question by the educated people in those times. So naturally he would argue with Sri Ramakrishna. Now Sri Ramakrishna, though apparently looked like an ordinary person, just an ordinary person, but not, because the divine soul, we call the blissful mother of the universe, was living with it. And he used to tell also, that remember, the blissful mother of the universe stays here, be careful, don't disregard me, and all this. To his young people, those who are very close, and then they would give service to him. It's called. So the child Aparananda Gupta raised all this question to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna says, who are you? You are telling there is so much misery, people are suffering and all this thing. It is true, but you know, who are you? You are the Brahman, divine spirit. So the divine spirit has assumed the form of Aparananda Gupta, and being the divine soul itself, the divine spirit itself, is raising doubt about its true nature. So Managupta could not answer. He said, who are you? He's the Brahman who has become Managupta. Brahman has become in this way. He has assumed this form. And asking. All sorts of different questions, all these things. So that is why the divinity of the soul is very important in this age. It is a very wonderful idea Vivekananda discovered. Oneness of existence, that idea is called. That we have to be aware of our divine nature. And second thing is that divinity of the soul. We have to be aware. Here comes one great challenge to all humanity or human beings, whether they understand it or not. Though we say it is a material civilization, we love material things, we love beautiful house, beautiful cars, and all these things, beautiful people to live with, though they don't get it. They expect because of other reason. It's a very philosophical question that why people don't get that their expectation to fulfill in life, though everything is there in life. It's called a very great philosophical question, difficult to answer, but it's a fact. We cannot deny this fact. That is, people, they want to enjoy their life, to find peace in life and all these things, but it is found that no, something wrong somewhere. Someone is doing all these things, it's called powers, change of powers. It's a common thing in life. You can find in social life, in community life also, change of powers and all these things. But in one way, it's called a divine soul. A great soul like Holy Mother Sarada Devi, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda and all these things. Their entire life was dedicated to give service to the others. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, I am ready to be born millions of times to serve human beings. His disciples heard it many times. I am ready to be born and suffer, it doesn't matter, to help other people. And Vivekananda also said that way. And Holy Mother, we know, was doing lifelong. Lifelong it is called. At night she could not sleep. She was repeating the mantra to ask that some young people are giving service to her at that time. So, Mother, we see that you don't sleep at night. Whenever we call you, you respond. What is the matter? So you don't understand. People take mantra, instruction from me, but somehow or other they don't practice it. So I have to do all this japa and all these things, spend the whole night because of that. Mother's life is different. When Dakshineshwar, when Sri Ramakrishna was there, is okay. Sri Ramakrishna, they are spending, towards the end of his life, there are so many good people who are take care of the holy Sri Ramakrishna. They will bring all good food and everything. But Holy Mother, they don't know much. Later on, they discovered there is no space for all the ladies to sleep together. Mother would be sitting in one corner, and sitting there, she would spend the whole night. That is called the Holy Mother. So in this age, that if you don't find or don't believe anything, don't forget Holy Mother Sarada Devi. And Sri Ramakrishna, of course, Sarada Devi is called. Power. It is power. you'll get everything in life. So we heard so many times about the greatness of the Holy Mother from Swami Asashananda. And we are inspired, we at least we learned something from him about the greatness of Holy Mother. And we saw also how so many Westerners and all these things then accepted Mother greatness and lived the life. So thank you very much. And I'm not a great speaker. When I find one machine is taking my picture and speaking, I don't feel I don't feel comfortable. Remember? No. So thank you very much for you, and that you have come, and you know the problem that what happened for about nearing 3 years that we had to pass through the tremendous what is bad time is called the corona disaster and all these things. I remember when I what is called 1920 I arrived from India. After that, for about 2.5 years, I could not go out of the room much because of this all these things. So it's called. Otherwise, I was the pastor when I was in Berkeley Society. I would never sit idle 1 month in my room. Never. I would go here and there and this thing. Okay, thank you very much. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna Holy Mother for all of you and all these things. And lecture means, that is like a conversation, all these things. They are good lecturer, they can, what is called, take one subject and develop those ideas and thoughts and all these things. Our problem is different, because we love to say something about spiritual life. We have faith and belief in spiritual life and spiritual reality. So we cannot stick to one particular subject. Thank you. All right.
So on behalf of the Vedanta Society of Portland, we express our gratitude and love and humble salutations to revered Maharaj. And actually Maharaj is leaving to California shortly. So Maharaj, please come back again. So we look forward meeting you again. And we wish you a happy and safe journey.
Okay then. Unfortunately, I have to leave immediately now. I have to go to back. There are some urgent things waiting for us. And in the meantime, of course, the good thing many of you, that your Swami, what is called, has taken a little time to recover his health and all these things. And soon he will come back and see him there. Otherwise, yeah.